It's another edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Your emails, our answers, coming up next, right here on the Pro Wrestling Report. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, again to another edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Nobody gives you more. The Pro Wrestling Report. We're here with a brand new and another edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. One hell of a radio show this past Monday night on 540 ESPN. If you didn't get a chance to catch it live, get it on your iTunes application, the Pro Wrestling Report iTunes application, or you can visit us at pwrshow.com to hear 2 hours of solid wrestling discussion. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside the historic, the world-renowned Linda Kay, and that other guy named Meathead. How are you, Linda?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you again. It's been a lot of Linda over the last couple of weeks.
In your heart, though, don't you feel that he just needs to stop picking on me? Don't you feel it? Doesn't it make you ill?
Before you answer that, refer to your contract. Since we got rid of Hero, well, he was back on Monday after protesting primetime because he didn't want to make a prediction for lockdown. We got some, we were able to sign Linda. We're reworked Dave's dates, and now we're good to go. That's good. Let's kick this pig and go to Fairmount, Indiana. John Bush sends this in. With Hulk Hogan bringing TNA Wrestling to Monday nights and putting everything he had up against the WWE and not getting the results he was hoping for, do you think Hogan is still relevant to the occasional wrestling fan to tune over to TNA Wrestling, or has Hulkamania died? John Bush wants to know, Linda, is Hulk Hogan still relevant to wrestling fans?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, everything is John, and fans of all ages, growing up watching it. I mean, of course, younger fans may not actually get to see Hogan in his biggest glory, like in the 80s and stuff, but everybody knows the name. I mean, you hear it, I'm going to tune in when I hear Hogan, or my friends that may not tune into wrestling as often as us. They hear Hogan, they're going to watch it. It's just a staple of the business.
There's no bigger name, I don't think, when it comes to professional wrestling than Hulk Hogan. Meathead, your thoughts?
Hulkamania hasn't died.
Brother.
And he has enough name recognition. He needs to do another round of mass media, interviews on the late night.
He's got his show on Sirius.
That doesn't do it. He needs to do mass media, another round. He needs to go on the late night talk shows. He needs to be on the major morning shows. He needs to be on all these different shows. Again, get the name Hulk Hogan out there. Get the name TNA out there. When you say Hulk Hogan, you need to say TNA. Not Hulk Hogan talking about his book. Not Hulk Hogan talking about something else he was doing.
Or on his Sirius radio show answering questions from fans about WWE for 70% of the show.
When Hulk Hogan goes and does this next round of media interviews, Hulk Hogan, TNA. TNA, Hulk Hogan. I'm on it this time. I'm Hulk Hogan. I'm TNA. I'm on it this time.
He's got a lot of heat for doing that, and seemingly you're giving some as well. But he's done it more so than people are giving him credit for. Hulk Hogan's out for Hulk Hogan first.
Correct.
And if you're not a self-promoter, you usually don't get anywhere in this
but
world.
To make it for Hulk Hogan, he's got to realize that he needs to bring the ship with him. Bringing the ship with him will make Hulk Hogan bigger.
See you, Captain Hogan. Like of a ship. You watch Deadliest Catch?
Yes.
That's good season.
Stuff.
Good season this year.
Not a fan, but go.
Really? What's wrong with Deadliest Catch?
I've got
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I have. I'm not a fan. But I've got no room for it. I've got I've got all these other shows.
You said you didn't like it, not having room for it.
I don't have room for it. I don't like it, and I don't have room for it.
Thank you for that email, John from Indiana. Travis Smith sends this in.
Hi, Travis.
I'm getting straight to the point. Chris Jericho is one of the greatest superstars of all time because he has done so much on WWE programming for years. HBK is a future Hall of Famer, no doubt, because he was a main eventer for years and could wrestle anybody and have a great match. So my question is this: who is the better superstar in your guys' mind, and lady, of all time, Chris Jericho or Shawn Michaels? If those were the two that you had to pick from, who would be a better superstar if you had to relate to the time of professional wrestling that has happened so far?
You're supposed to throw it to one of us.
Yes, you Meathead.
That's a tough one. Both have had more than one run. HBK actually, if you think about it, had 3 runs. He had a tag team run, he had a singles run, then he had a singles run return. Okay? Chris Jericho He had 3 runs. His WCW, his first WWE/F, where he became undisputed champion, and then this last run where he's invented himself. Man, it is tough. That's a tough one. I think you got to go with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, though. Even though I'm a Jericho guy, I mean Jericho is probably my favorite wrestler of all time. It's been my guy, the guy I've rooted for since the day I started watching wrestling after I took my break. Jericho's been my guy. But HBK has been doing it better, longer. Plain and simple.
Linda,
Well-
Jericho, the Lionheart, or the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels?
Well, Travis, you've made this one easy for me to answer. I got to go with HBK. I mean, I will just say off the bat, he is my favorite wrestler of all time.
All time.
All time.
Your favorite.
Yeah.
Better than The Miz.
Yes. I'm saying all time, just, seeing, like you said.
Better than
tag-
JBL.
Yes.
All right.
Don't let her have her opinion.
I'm allowing her to reinforce her point. We're having a conversation over here. So Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yes. I mean, just being a big fan, just seeing him grow over the years. I mean, with the tag team titles and then, going in as Intercontinental Champion. I mean, he was
There's the bald
champion of,
spot
like,
right here. I mean, there's hair here, but then it's bald right
I'm
here.
bald everywhere.
It balds
HBK
here.
all the way.
Oh, whoa, that's not right. Use a Flowbee.
Clearly, that wasn't designed for me. Clearly, Shawn Michaels. He's been so much more prominent in the business overall than Chris Jericho has. Chris Jericho's great, by the way. Comparing those two is not a bad comparison, but when you ask if who's better, who's the greatest, Shawn Michaels by a mile. And I think Chris Jericho would say that himself as well.
But Jericho's still going. Jericho could get closer. I don't know if he could take him over, though.
Let's check back in 5 years. Thank you for that
Yeah.
email, Travis Smith. Let's go to our final email of the day. This comes from Paul in New York City, where they make that paste picante sauce.
Get a rope.
I recently watched the rise and fall of WCW and ECW DVDs, and they got me thinking about the potential downfall of WWE. When a company goes sour, fans typically assign blame. So, in my opinion, Triple H's influence on booking decisions and what wrestlers are pushed is at the heart of the current stagnation of WWE. Linda, when and if the WWE product collapses, will Triple H get the blame he deserves?
I don't think that WWE product will collapse.
Would you have thought in 1999 that WCW would collapse?
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
I don't know. I mean, WWE is still going strong, and if Triple H is contributing a lot to it, if it continues, I mean, I don't see it collapsing anytime soon. I mean, who knows what could happen, but as of right now, I don't think he would have to take all the blame, I guess, if that's what we're talking about. If Triple H is
If he's
to blame.
Yeah. Well, I mean, typically, a lot of people blame the failure of WCW on Kevin Nash, which is unfounded. He said many times on this program why it is unfounded. But it is, somebody wants, I mean, really, quite frankly, who's to blame for ECW going away? It's pretty much,
It's been agreed
I don't think
that
it's a person, it's
Yeah,
the
I can't blame one
situation they got
person. I
into.
don't think so.
But a lot of
Grow
people put
too
that
far
blame
too
on Paul
fast.
Heyman, and this is obviously so hypothetical that it may not even be meriting an answer. But I think that he would be pretty much a scapegoat. And keep in mind that one day soon being in the next 10 years, somebody's going to need to take over the company. And at this point, it's not Shane, but it could be at that point. And maybe it's going to be Stephanie and Triple H. We'll see what happens. So thank you for that email, Paul from New York City. And also thank you to John and Travis for your emails as well today as we continue on this interactive marathon.
Now,
And
this was the final leg, right?
No, we're going to do
There's
it again
more?
tomorrow. We'll do it again! I'll write it and we'll do it again tomorrow. Thing sucks. Thanks for tuning in to the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. We'll see you again tomorrow.